once you start getting really busy, you see people come in, look, oh, it's too busy, and leave, right? And you're missing out on dollars there.
What is going on, you beautiful ladies and gentlemen?
How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Bonji Foods. We are starting a new series where we are giving you guys some tips and trends that's going on in the restaurant and hospitality industry. We have if you go to check out bonjifoods.com, we have a Bonji blog, which kind of does this more in long form if you prefer reading. This week we had something we checked out something pretty cool. I'm not sure if you guys have been to any sporting events or, even United and, Starbucks has had it for a while. But the evolution of grab and go in the restaurant industry, prepackaged sandwiches, prepackaged snacks, so that you don't have to spend all this time waiting in line to place your order and then wait for the food. You can be in and out of the door in seconds.
Yeah, so I mean, this is really for restaurant owners or operators or people in the hospitality industry, but it at its depth, it really addresses three national, maybe even international problems that we're seeing on the world stage that is stemming into every industry, which is supply shortages, labor shortages, and also inflation, right? So the grab and go at its surface level is an interesting for restaurants to kind of introduce and include in their offering. It does a lot, mainly, at the surface, it's easy, it's convenient, it's fast. What a lot of things, a lot of people are busy, they're working from home, they're running out to grab lunch or whatever it may be. They're at an event and they want to get back to the game, back to their seats. So fast, convenience is always a great solution for anything in the industry, in food. Everyone is looking for a quick snack, quick meal. But at its depth, it really does address the supply shortages, labor shortages, and inflation. I'll tell you how. So when you're when you're doing the grab and go, you can offer less menu items, so less SKUs, which allows you to increase your buying power with your distributors and your vendors, right? So you're hopefully buying at a discounted rate for those items you're offering in the grab and go section. The second thing it does is it allows you to create efficiencies in the production, in the producing of those menu items, those grab and go items, which allows for you to not have as big of a staff. So if you're struggling with hiring people and retaining employees, this might be a good option, a good way to supplement your offering while not having to rely on as many employees to have that grab and go items. Your kitchen will become a lot more efficient, and ultimately everyone's dealing with inflation. And so if you could become more efficient in your production and you're buying a little bit better at a discounted rate, you'll be able to offer as good of quality items, but just at a discounted rate, and helping the majority of Americans that their checkbooks are being infiltrated by the economy.
Yeah, before we we switched over from manufacturing and distribution. We operated as a juice bar, and time is money. And the amount of times I would walk in here and I would see the workers just being on their phones, not doing anything. This allows you to be able to have them be contributing to the business even when there's a slow time at the restaurant. They could be prepping for the next day or for whenever the next rush is. It allows you to keep the amount of people you need to staff, which one is, it's tough to find people and find good people. And also it's, as a restaurant, it's tough to, every hour you don't want to be hiring more people than you have to be. So when you do have that 1 to 2 hour rush throughout the day, it's a great option to be able to have a handful of selections to be able to choose from a pre-made that, if maybe someone wants a freshly made sandwich or whatever it might be. But that's, it's at that point you give them an option to wait. They're not, it's not the only way to get their sandwich. They had the option to get the pre-made sandwich if they wanted to wait.
Well, and so, pricing on everything has gone up at least 10% this past year. If you do any type of research, again, check out bonjifoods.com in the blog section. Every week, our producer Aiden is writing about what's happening in the restaurant industry. That's a really great resource for you. But everything's going up in pricing, and so if you are a business doing the same numbers last year that you are this year, and you're netting 10%, now you're just breaking even. And so you have to, as an operator, look and be creative in, okay, how can I reduce my costs or increase my output so that I'm back to being profitable? Because the old ways of doing things, might not, remain as, put you in a successful position. And so one tip for any restaurant operator or anyone in the hospitality industry is look at your payroll and look at your output per hour and kind of see, okay, and not to, not humanize this industry, because it's a very, family-oriented, camaraderie-based industry. But if you look at them kind of like, okay, what's their output? How to put all of our people in a position to increase their output, like this grab and go, where it's very straightforward. All right, everyone gets in and they bang out 20 menu items for the day. That's kind of creates a lot more efficiencies. One way to create the output that people are looking for.
When we had a restaurant, say we were open for 10 hours, I felt like 4 hours was dead slow. 4 hours was like a steady rush, and 2 hours were like a crazy rush where it was impossible. There's a 20-person line, so that really allows you to be able to have that. It's like almost impossible to manage.
Here's another thing that your comment just made me think of. The most frustrating thing to any restaurant owner, especially in the fast food, fast casual spaces, even fine dining, but when like Brian said, there's periods where you make a lot of your money. There's probably 20% of your time probably creates 80% of your revenue, right, in the restaurant industry. And the most frustrating point for any restaurant owner is once you start getting really busy, you see people come in, look, oh, it's too busy, and leave, right? And you're missing out on dollars there that you could really capitalize on. And so this grab and go allows you to capitalize when you're really busy, right? And so they're like, oh, they're really busy, but I'll just grab something from the grab and go section and I'll get out of here, right? I don't have to wait the 20 minutes for them, behind everyone waiting in line for a freshly prepared menu. So what Brian said is really real, right? From 6 to 8 o'clock at night, the place is swamped. From 5 to 6, it's dead. From 8 to whenever they close, it's dead. And so to capitalize on that, have that grab and go item, and you'll probably increase the output, if not in the down hours, at least in the peak hours. And it allows you to kind of extra support without hiring people, and it gives them something to do in the down hours, preparing more of those grab and go items.
It's definitely something to go into. I think it'd be greatly beneficial to you. You have to jump into the deep end, maybe get your toes wet. Say, okay, I want to put juice in the fridges instead of making freshly made juices. Just start off with one item, see how it goes. You might be worried that people might not like the grab and go and want everything fresh, but still leave it as an option. I think more options the better. And overall, I think it's going to be a great opportunity for the industry. I think it's going to create a lot more efficiencies both for the restaurant and for the consumer. So I definitely recommend giving that a shot. I think it'd make restaurant owners' lives a million times easier.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
Cool.
Let us know what you guys think. Again, check out bonjifoods.com, the blog section. Aiden's doing an incredible job covering all the food trends, restaurants, giving a lot of tips. We were nominated top 50 blogs, so we're legit as hell. So check that out. Hopefully we're providing some value to you guys. See you next week.
What is going